Now don't forget, we've just looked at a van there that's about 12 years old, and so you think, well, a newer van, you don't have to really check for anything. Well, you do. Now I'm looking at this Sterling Nettles here, and it's 17,995. It's a 2017. It's a 590, and it's a family tourer. And I did have a bit of a quick check around this before, and in fact, to be quite honest, it is perfectly good condition on the outside. GRP sidewalls mean there's no dents off awning poles, things like that. I've checked all the windows are fine, checked the back panels, everything's all really hunky-dory, and also the last owners have left the bike rack on the back as well, because Swift for some years now have been putting fixings on to put this extra bit on, so you can put the bikes in the back, of course. This has got Aldi heating too, and it's a 6-berth tourer. Now I'm just going around the back here, the windows are all okay, there's nothing damaged at all, and to be quite honest, these days you don't get a lot of tourers on dealers' forecourts used which are showing signs of wear and tear. I mean, years ago I could go on dealers and you'd find vans really that, well, I'd have thought they'd have touched them up and got them sorted out before they put them on for sale. But these days definitely caravans the standards are better on used tourers, I think. Again, look out for any problems, look out for anything that's been any sealant, excessive sealant, any cracks in the panels. Swift used GRP, so they were pretty good and hardy, but they've gone a bit dull here. That's mainly because they've just never been cleaned. When I say never been cleaned, I mean sort of polished up a bit, because polish does make a big difference. It does protect the GRP panels. I know people put covers on them these days, but really, when they're out and about, the weather gets hold of them, and you've got to really keep these sort of on top of them to keep them sort of shiny. You can get GRP Restorer, which will probably bring that back up as a bit of a shine again, from any sort of car accessory places. Also, what you're looking for on this van, I mean, it's a family van, but it's got an exterior barbecue point, it's got an exterior access locker, and it's also got an exterior mains electric socket, which are all very, very handy. Now what it also has is got a mover fitted. Now again, some dealers may turn around and say, look, the mover is not included, but for £250 we'll leave it on. Really, I always think that if that mover is on the van, it comes as part of the van. I know it's usually obviously it's an extra, but I know some dealers do charge extra because they'll say we'll take the mover off. Personally, if it came in with a mover, it should stop with the mover. So I looked on the outside of this van, and okay, it's only 6 years old, but you'd be amazed at how many scuffs and things that a van can get in that time. I've checked the tyres look okay, alloys are not scraped. It's a really tidy van on the outside, so let's go and have a look on the inside, because if you're a family and you want a decent tourer with fixed bunks, this could be right up your street. Now what I always liked about Sterling Nettles was they were always a modern interior. Now the problem with modern interiors, of course, they go, they can age quite quickly. I don't think this has. This, as I say, it's 6 years old, and it still feels fresh. It still feels nice and modern. So, what does it do? Well, for a family, you've got this front lounge end here, which is great because you can all pile around the front here. You can also have this as 2 single beds or 1 big double. And of course, the fixed bunks is the big thing on family tourers. And if we get down this bottom end, there we have the 2 fixed bunks. And again, check for any untoward stains on the mattresses, and again check for any damage to the fire screens and blinds on these doors, because kids do tend to poke around. It depends how they've been taught to look after things. And while we're down here, I'll show you this end here, because this is absolutely ideal for kids. You know, on a wet day, you know, mum and dad can stop at that top end, the kids can come down here and they can play board games, shows you how fashioned I am. They can play games here on the phones or whatever, and they're nicely tucked out of the way. And again, check for seating on family runs, especially that kids haven't spilt stuff and you know what they're like. And just check that there's nothing's been scuffed, torn or anything like that. This looks a really nice van. It looks like it's been pretty well looked after. There's another bunk bed that goes up here, so that makes you 4 down here and you 2 at the top there, for obviously making it 6. Plenty of storage. Again, if you're looking at a family van, check there's going to be enough storage for all the family. You know, bring everybody in, bring the kids in, let them have a look, let them have a good scout about. Check that the lockers are deep enough and that everything, they can get all the bits and bobs in there. Now I've noticed on this is that is it's bending in the middle, so it's obviously has quite a bit of weight on there at some stage. And it's not going to break, but it's not looking great. So maybe try and get that replaced. Now it comes down to the kitchen area. I'll do this all in one foul swoop. Again, you want a kitchen that you're going to be able to get food prepared for up to 6 of you. This has got obviously dual fuel hob. It's got a full oven in. It's got quite a works top surface here, plus your extension here. Check the sink as well, because I mean these were GRP sinks that Swift pitted on these. Now obviously wear and tear, they will get scratched, and this has a bit, but it's not too bad, to be quite honest. It's not too bad. I mean, I've seen a lot worse than that, a lot stained and really badly scratched, where people have left stuff in when the van's been travelling and it's moved over and it's, you know, it's made a mess over the years. Also the thing is, of course, you've got your fridge, and you've got some storage here, of course. And again, really, things like the inbuilt microwave is all going to make family life easier when it comes to doing your meals. You know what kids are like. You know, they want stuff now, so the microwave could be just the job. Coming down again to that front end, again, make sure there's no stains on the seats. Also make sure that the seats are comfortable. I've just been have a sit down on these. Now they do sink in a bit, so I must admit they've probably had a bit of usage. And sometimes as well, kids can jump up and down on things, can't they, as we know. But I mean, obviously they've had quite a bit of use. It's sunk down a little bit. I know I'm no lightweight, but even so, you know, they shouldn't go down too much. Nothing to be unduly worried about. I mean, it still feels comfortable enough here, there's no doubt about it. Again, check out those fly screens and blinds at the little the kids haven't gone and poked the fingers through the blinds, etc. Again, that used to be something you used to see a lot again on used Taurus. Sunroof there, of course, and everything, so it's nice and bright in here. And again, you know, the freestanding table here, all the family can get round here and have a nice, you know, lunch or tea or something, and everyone's together. Again, when it comes to we said about the storage and the lockers, check as well on things like the wardrobe, because some 6 berths haven't got the biggest wardrobes. And in all fairness, okay, that isn't the biggest, but then again, there's quite a bit of space there. There's a status TV area there, there's the Aldi central heating stuff there. And again, all these things have to be checked, but again, the dealer will do that for you. So you get your freestanding table. And again, think to yourselves when you're in here, you know, will we get all the kids' stuff in? You know, when I say you're looking at Taurus, you need to really bring the people who are going to be using it all with you, so that everybody likes it and understands what's happening. But as I say, general condition of this is really good. We'll go and have a look in that washroom. And then here it's a separate shower. So if you're using a site, or you've got the kids and you just want to give them a quick shower in, then basically this is ideal. There's a little sit where the wheel arch is there, they can sit there, you can shower them. There's a little hand basin here. It's a bit dingy here because all there is that one roof vent actually, and it is a bit dingy. It's a dull day and it is a bit of a dingy interior, but on the whole it's all been well looked after. There's quite a bit of storage in there, and again it's not, as I say, as a family van, I would say it's probably not been used terrific lot, that shower at all. But you need to check it out. You know, put the kids in, see if they're gonna like it, you know, and pretend you're showering them or something. Just get the feel of it all, so you make sure that, you know, it feels right for you. Right, so family vans, you need to scrutinise them a bit more because they're usually generally knocked and battered about a bit. Again, do the normal checks you normally do, exterior wise for damage, sealant, any bad repairs, any leaks. This is a really sound van. It's a fiver short of £18,000, and it's got many years of it, and it's been really well looked after, there's no doubt about it, and it is ideal for a family of 6. And I would say it's been looked after and cared for. Oh, and just one other thing as well, just before we wrap this up, is that when it comes to things like these concertina petitions, again, check for those that are okay, because again, kids can get a bit excited with them and sort of make a bit of a mess of them. Alder heating, of course, swift control panel up the top here. What's not to like about this? If you're a family with 18 grand, this could be perfect for you. But just got to keep looking. Right, we've just looked at 2 vans, and I mean, to be quite honest, with modern vans these days, there's not a lot to really go wrong. Not like these in the olden days, as it were. It's only when you look at really old vans that you really need to scrutinise things more, and really do your checks through. But as I say, ask the salesman on any queries you've got. Ask him. Don't be afraid to, you know, again, previous owners, who were they, how long did they have the van, that sort of thing, and of course service records, and everything's been carried out. Hope there's been a bit of help. I did say about doing used vans. I used to like to look at the old used vans. It was quite interesting because there was quite a bit of things you had to look out for on those. But I mean, everything else on this, there's no signs of any damp, and there wouldn't be here on sale, I don't think, anyway, because dealers these days are getting a bit more fussy on their used stock. They want more serviceable vans, and there's a corner over on the side where some dubious looking Taurus that'll just go out through the trade, which needs some repair and a clean up, and the price will be done accordingly, of course, I suppose. Right, I'll wrap that up. Thanks for watching. Please keep subscribing, and I hope I've been a little bit of help, which I try and do. And I've just saw 2 subscribers on this side. They look at a Sprite Alpine 4, and it's a cracking van. I hope they got it. See you on the next video.